Let's talk about the secrets to creating an online course that your students will love. So here's the thing about online courses is that most of the models we have are really not good models. They do not use a number of the principles that I've learned cause people to absolutely love your course and recommend it to others. So let me share with you what those key principles are, those key secrets are, so that you can do the same thing as you design your course. Because this is all based upon a vital course design principle, which is teach systems and frameworks, not a traditional course. So one of the things that happens is that we are in the business of helping other people create results, change, transformation in their lives. And if you want to do that, you have to teach it differently than, very frankly, very bluntly, than you were taught in school. School is, very frankly, the worst example of teaching people how to do things in their lives. So traditional school teaches history, great, but it doesn't help people to achieve change in their life. Background, amazing, but it doesn't help people create transformation. Some classes have some formulas in them, like math and science and writing, but they don't actually teach you how to do it. They give you a formula, and then notice how teachers test it. They teach you this formula. Here's how you use this formula. And then they turn around and they test you by putting the formula backwards and see if you got it. That doesn't teach you how to do it. That just proves that you haven't thought through it carefully enough. But most school courses teach very little how to do X, with one set of exceptions. Think classes like industrial arts, what we used to call shop when I was in school, or home management, what we used to call home ec, or speech and debate, or music. Each one of those teaches how to do something. But I want you to notice something. All those were electives. The core courses, English, math, science, history, those don't teach how to do X. They teach all this background and history stuff. So what people really need are, here's how to do X. Give me a simple system that all I have to do is follow this, and then do that, and then do that, and then do that. And then at the end of that, I will accomplish that, the thing that I bought the course for. Or another way of doing it, because there's a lot of places where you can get step-by-step how to do that. One of the key things is that you're selling, here's the best way to do X. So a lot of people can teach how to do X, but if you can teach them how to do it the best way so that it's more profitable, bigger results, whatever those things are, people will love and recommend your course. So your students don't really need to know much about the history, the background, every possible exception in those particular courses. This is what caused me to have my first course be 97 hours long. My second course was 127 hours long. It's like people just came and they said, I am totally overwhelmed. Don't give us all that stuff. Just give us the system, which is what I did in my third course. And all of a sudden people started getting it. They loved it. They recommended it to everybody. But there is one key thing, not history background. One key thing, you need to teach them the principle. You need to say, here's the principle, and here's how to do it. So here's the key thing you need to understand, and then here's how to do that. That's a totally different course than, hey, who fought in the Battle of Borodin in, that kind of thing, and what year was it? Useless information. Teach me the principle, teach me how to do it. So now let's talk about how you actually implement this in your own course design. Number one, Module 1 is the single biggest problem in almost everybody's courses. So the traditional Module 1 is, here's how to use the course, here's sort of the history, here's why you need to do this, here's how to use the portal, here's what I'm going to supply, where are you from, give us your background, all that kind of stuff. Module 1 teaches a system overview. So here's the system, and here's the different steps. And I'm going to teach you everything about module 2 about this key step in module 2. This key step, I'm going to teach you everything about it in module 3, etc. And you go through and you give some foundational things. But module 1 is not giving the background, the instruction, the how this course works. Basically, people are saying to you, don't waste my time. This is what creates huge refunds right at the beginning. Don't waste my time. And by all means, don't waste my money. If I paid for a 6-module course, don't give me 5 modules plus this junk module, the first that gives me absolutely nothing. If you have to put, here's how the course works, here's how to use the portal, do that in the pre-materials that they get before the course actually starts. Just sort of the background, tools to help you do this course. But they don't start right off with all that junk. Start right off by changing their lives. Number 2, give them a graphical chart that shows them the system that they can print out, put on their wall, suitable for framing if you want. They can print it out, put it on their wall, check things off as they go through it. And so they're seeing that system and seeing themselves work through that system. So it can be a flow chart. It can be a circle chart. And one of those with here's this, and you go around the circle. And basically what you're doing is you're saying, here's what the whole system is. And you are here. So at the start of each module, it's like, okay, here's that system chart. You've seen it before. You are here. This is what we're talking about. You already learned this stuff. This is what we're talking about. All right. Third thing, your assignments and worksheets are wonderful aspects of a good course. The problem is most assignments and worksheets are useless. Think about this question. Give me your answer. Ponder this kind of stuff. It's nice. Doesn't help people create transformation in their life. Give them assignments that cause them to actually do the system. So module 2, do this assignment. When you're done with that assignment, you've done step 2 in this program that you're doing. In other words, the assignments, when they are done with each of the assignments in the program, they're done with doing that system. They've gone through that system one time with what it is. And they now understand it. They've done it. And now all they have to do is do that over and over again to do that system in their future life. Number 4, some things you have to give them some background. Some things you have to give them some history. There's always a few exceptions to the rules. That's great. Integrate those into the sections of the system where they make sense. So when you're working on this key assignment, you need to understand this little piece of background. Now, don't go way off. Don't go do an hour and a half discussion about that stuff. Give them the absolute minimum possible information that they need to understand to be able to do that system. Again, the focus here is not on everything around the system. It's on doing the system. That's what you're giving them. Number 5, provide them feedback on their assignments. So they do the assignment. That assignment is moving them down the path of doing this system. And then you're giving them feedback on it because that's what they really want in today's world. They don't want a test that asks who were the generals that fought in such and such a battle and what year it's in. What they want to do is they want to create a lead magnet page and they want you to tell them, was this any good? And here's how to fix it if it's not. That's what people want. Give that to them. Number 6, I talked about principles earlier, but may I suggest that everything in your course is based upon the concept of here's the principle, here's how to utilize that principle to do what you're trying to do. And so the way you do this is the first lesson in each module is here's the principle behind this module. And then in the rest of the lessons in this particular module, I'm going to teach you how to do that. But it doesn't just have to apply there. Every time you teach something, give the principle in 3 sentences or 1 sentence. Here's the principle that you need to understand. And now here's how to do that. That way, your course is principle-based with application of those principles. Number 7, provide resources for extra course skills, not the extra course skills. So one of the reasons my course was 197 or 127 hours long was because when I said, you need to do this, then I had a whole module, 10 hours teaching them how to do that particular piece, as opposed to just giving them the things that are core to the system. So let's say if you're teaching something about online marketing, you got to teach some advertising. Well, maybe what you do is you create a bonus on advertising, or advertising is part of your next program, or you recommend somebody else's program that teaches them that. You don't put it into the core program. It becomes auxiliary to that core program. Finally, remember, you're teaching a system. Do this, do this, do this to get the very best results process. So it's step by step to do X. All the advanced stuff. So here's what happens. Many people, they want to teach somebody everything they know to be a social media manager. That's great. But that's your next course. After they take the basic course, which is here's the system to take a single piece of content and turn it into 14 other pieces of content. I'm going to teach you that system. You start with this, and then and then you do this, and then you post this as a video, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's the system. Now, to become a successful social media manager, they're going to have to understand a whole lot of other things beyond that system. But your system initially teaches, here's how to take a single piece of content and turn it into 14 pieces of content. That's the system you teach them. To teach them how to be a social media manager, that's the next program, or the high-end program. Start with the system, then teach them in a separate program everything they need to do to apply it in every single place that they do. That becomes probably your high-end system. Okay? I hope this all makes sense. It's what it does is when you do this, number one, you make the whole process much easier. Number two, what it does is it means that if someone says, well, what about this? You say, that's not part of the system. The system is this. Do this system. Number three, it makes it really easy for people to go through it. Number four, it makes it really easy for people to implement it so they get amazing results. And when they get amazing results, they then recommend you to everybody else. And so you sell more without having to spend as much time and energy advertising. And in the end, everybody wins when you teach systems as opposed to a traditional school course. Hope this helped. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.